Ritu, could you tell me how to pronounce your name so I can say it correctly?
Yeah, it is Ritu. Tirthani.
Ritu. Say your last name again.
Tirthani.
Tirthani. Okay.
Oh, you said it better. Yes, great.
Let's see if I remember it in 10 minutes.
Sorry.
Oh, Dawn?
Yeah.
Could I actually get that bell at 1 minute instead?
Sure.
Thank you.
We didn't tell Ritu that. Do you want to, because we don't have a light, do you want to bell it like 1 minute or 2 minutes before your time?
1 minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Dawn, is it easier if everybody's 1 minute? I'll go with 1 minute.
No.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I'm an auditor by day. Numbers are fine with me.
Sorry. I don't mean to be a pest.
No, it's
But I
fine.
am.
And Cathy, you wanted 2 or 5?
3.
3. I got it.
Now that everybody's changing. Way to go, Amanda.
Sorry, I started the trend.
I'm kidding. Any relation to Sandra?
No, I wish, just so I could beg for money.
She's
But
very talented, eh?
she is, yeah. Yeah, she really is.
Yeah.
She's great on Grey's Anatomy. I never watched Grey's Anatomy, but I know a lot of people love that show.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a new one, though, Killing Eve, and she was also just in something else that she got an Emmy for, I think.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, her most recent one.
Yeah. I liked her in Sideways. I love that movie.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, so funny. It's older, but it's really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, she is really talented. And rich, so again.
I don't think she was always rich.
That's true, yeah.
She worked at it.
Hey, Dawn.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Who's that? Deep voice.
That's one of my relatives.
Ah.
Your only relative.
Oh, okay.
Actually, my voice isn't that low. Actually, I have a cold.
I got people tuning in tonight from Toronto, Texas, New York. Should be a good show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
Great.
So
Oh,
Dawn,
and people from Maine too.
What part of Texas?
My sister lives in Houston.
Oh, I lived in Austin, Texas. Yeehaw.
Oh.
Oh, you whole country's coming for you.
Where do I get the gallery? Yeah.
And Ritu, you heard me say about the bell. We'll use that for the light.
Sounds good. Thanks.
What are you talking?
Dawn, do you want us to stay muted or what?
Whatever you're comfortable with. If there's a lot of background noise, it's probably better if you're muted, but it's good to hear people laugh too.
Okay. Dawn in both places.
Find the ghost. That is not high. There I go.
Hi, Abby.
Oh, Edna, thanks for coming.
Hi. Oh, you look divine. Look at you.
Oh, look at me. I have to wave.
Oh, look at that. Look at Bubby. I'm looking forward to.
My Bubby doll. Don't forget, girls, call your Bubby.
Call my Bubby. That's right. Maybe I should put up the. Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
looking
Don't
forward to
forget
it.
to vote. Don't be a
voted.
putz. Don't be a putz. Wash your nuts. That's all I'm saying. Wash your body parts. This is your Bubby speaking, young girl. Edna, thanks for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. You know I adore you.
I
Hello.
adore Edna. She's my sister. From another
I adore
mister.
you. Hello from San Diego, California.
Yeehaw! Well, wrong city. I was stuck in cyberspace and they were anally probing me, so I was a little begrudged getting here.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Did you
I know.
turn Alexa off? You turned Alexa
I
off.
turned Alexa off because she's a bitch, but don't let anybody know.
That's right.
Sorry,
That's
Bubby.
right.
Sorry. I have snacks for you ladies too. All you have to do is come and eat. We'll have a good time.
Yep, Google.
Turn myself.
We'll get started in just a couple minutes. Just trying to figure out a couple late technical things here, and then we'll get going and give a minute for a couple more people to join.
I'll be right back. And we're gonna go upstairs.
Okay, we won't wait for you. We'll get going. Well, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Welcome to my office, but this is Women of Comedy and we're going to have a great night tonight. My name's Dawn Hartill. I'm a comedian from Lewiston, Maine. But I have to tell you tonight, I am celebrating. As of this week, I have been married for 25 years.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was to a bunch of different guys, but 25 years altogether. So, quite the accomplishment. Yeah. I love telling people I'm from Maine. Often people will be like, Maine, what state is that in? Yeah. So I know we have a lot of people here from our great country to the north, and if you're not familiar with Maine, Maine's a lot like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI. But see, our country lets us be in Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. So I was thinking about Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and PEI, and I was thinking like Canada was probably like, what do we do with those three provinces? I mean, they are way over there, like way past Quebec. Oh, I know what we can do. We'll give them something so they can feel special. We'll call them the Maritime Provinces, and we'll give them their own time zone. And then maybe somebody will want to live there. So like everybody else through the pandemic, as of this month, I lost track. I don't know. I've been working from home since March. And if there's been anything I learned through COVID, it is that I cannot be trusted to work in the same room as a refrigerator. Yeah, we've heard about COVID-19. A lot of people have gained 19 pounds. Yeah, I went way past that in like July, so I'm an overachiever. I got to thinking about, everybody wearing face coverings now. And I don't know about in Canada, but here in Maine, we've started opening up bars and restaurants again. And I was thinking, what are face masks going to do to the bar pickup scene? I mean, there's a few people that would look better with a face mask. And then if you think too, what are the pickup lines going to be like now? You know, a guy would come up to a girl and be like, I'm no photographer, but I can picture your smile behind that mask. Are you a terrorist? Because that mask is the bomb. Yeah. So I am a mom. Just going to point that out just in case it wasn't clear from my haircut. All the junk behind me in my office. I'm a mom. I'm a mom to 3 boys. They are 19, 21, and 24.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Wow.
No, right? I do not look old enough to have kids that age.
Right.
But again, I'm from Maine, and we start pretty early. There's not a lot to do here. My boys are good boys, I'll tell you that. And some days they can do no wrong. Other days, I understand why some animals eat their young. It's stressful being a mom. Oh my goodness, is it stressful. I'm pretty sure I take more Xanax than my entire book club put together. My youngest son, he came down the other day and he said, can I borrow $10 for some game thing? And I'm like, what do you think I am, made of money? To which he replied, isn't that what mom stands for?
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, he's a smart one.
Mhm.
So I don't have small boys. Nope, all my boys are over 6 feet tall. That's 2 meters for you Canadians. And they are all super tall. In fact, my oldest son, yeah, I'll do the math for you. I get it. Not everybody gets our standards here in the US. So my oldest son, he's actually 6'8".
Oh, my
That's
God.
like, what, 203 centimeters?
Oh.
Yeah, pretty big guy, right? And I've gotten used to having all these big guys around and, people staring at us when we go out in public. What I haven't gotten used to is the strange comments people feel okay to make to us. Like no matter where we go, someone will come up to us and be like, gee, they're really tall. No kidding. Your kid's really ugly, but we're not pointing that out now, are we? So it's interesting shopping for boys that height, especially at the Big and Tall store by myself. I go into the store and I pick up like a 5X shirt, pair of 36 inseam jeans. I don't know the math on that one. Sorry, that's really long for Canadian inseam too. And I go up to the counter and the manager's like, wow, you must have a really big guy at home. And I'm like, nope, these are for me. I like to go home and put them on and stand in front of the mirror and pretend my diet's actually working. So I read this story the other day about a single mom with 5 kids. She and her 5 kids built an entire house together watching YouTube. They used YouTube tutorials and figured out how to build an entire house. My middle son, the other day, I caught him Googling, which is the washer and which is the dryer? Yeah, we're not building a house anytime soon. I went out for a ladies' night out recently because that's what moms in their 40s do when we don't want to feel guilty about drinking tequila on a Wednesday. So I went out with my girlfriends on this ladies' night out. We went out down to Portland, which is a bit of a drive for us, and it was fun. We went to this bar, and there was music, and everybody was dancing, and I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, I look over this way, and there's 5 guys looking in my direction. Like 5 really hot guys. Like barely legal to drink age guys. So I start looking around, and finally I'm like, okay, me? And then they all cheered. And that's when I realized there was a TV above my head and they were watching the Red Sox game.
Oh.
That story's not true. No one's cheering for the Red Sox this year. So I'll tell you this, when moms get together, there's a lot of bragging that goes on. Everybody's kid's done something better than somebody else's. You take my friend Jenny, her daughter plays field hockey and she's like #1 in the country. And then my friend Wendy, her son plays ice hockey and she's dropped like $1,000 on equipment this year. And then they turn to me. My kids never played any sports at all. My middle son's on the debate team. He does Model UN. Do you have that in Canada?
What
Yes,
is it?
Yeah. Model UN. See, one person heard of it. It's not real popular. And my youngest son, he competes in Rubik's Cube speed solving tournaments. So I don't really fit in. I dropped like $20 on equipment this year. I'm not freezing my butt off every weekend on a bleacher somewhere. And my kid's probably going to be their kid's boss someday. So my 2 youngest sons, they are good boys. Now they're 19 and 21, but back a few years ago, they went to a special STEM high school. They went to a school that was for kids that excel in science and technology, and I never got in trouble. Like, they are good boys. And there was one day, though, the principal called me at work. She's like, Mrs. Hartill, I am so sorry to bother you, but we think you need to come to the school. There's been an accident. I'm like, oh my goodness, what happened? Is everybody okay? She's like, calm down. She says, your son has a light bulb stuck in his ear. I didn't even have to ask which kid it was because I knew. And I said, okay, explain this to me. She says, he was making a circuit board in electronics class, and he had this little LED light bulb, like the size of a Christmas bulb, and he was fiddling around with it in his fingers. He went to scratch his ear. It dropped out of his fingers, down his ear canal, and then my little brainiac pushed it.
Oh.
So it was stuck. She says, the nurse tried, I tried. We cannot get this thing out of his ear. We think you need to take him to the emergency room. I'm like, okay. So I jump in my car and I'm booking it all the way over to the school, which is like a 45-minute drive. I'm going fast as I can. And the whole time I'm thinking, I'll get down there and I'll just pick this thing out of his ear, or we'll go to the emergency room. They must have a tool for this sort of thing. Au contraire. After 4 hours in the emergency room, the doctor came in, he looked at us and he says, you need to go across town to an ear, nose, and throat specialist. He goes, we don't have the tools to get this out. And by now, my son's ear is just swollen up like a cauliflower because they've been poking and prodding. So we go across town to the ENT. He takes one look at him and he says, he needs emergency surgery.
Oh my
Like,
God.
okay, said, it will be fine. We'll put him to sleep. We'll vacuum this thing out of his ear. Everything will be good. All right. So they take him away. They bring him back. Everything's fine. I'm sitting there with him in the emergency room. I'm sorry, in the recovery room. And he's sound asleep. And then the surgeon comes in to check on him. And he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out this file. He says, I didn't know if you'd want to keep this as a souvenir. Well, yeah, I am a scrapbooker. So fast forward to Christmas morning at our house. All the presents had been open except one. I gave it to my son. He opened it. He looked at it. He looked at me. He says, you saved the light bulb? Oh, you bet your sweet cheeks I saved that light bulb. That light bulb there is proof that it takes one mom, one principal, a nurse, an ENT, and a surgeon to change a light bulb. Oh, we have got a great show for you tonight. I hope I made you laugh. Coming up next, comedian coming to us next. Her name is Ritu. Sorry, I knew I was gonna mess it up. So sorry. Ritu Tirthani, and she was originally from India, but she now calls Nashville, Tennessee her home. Please give a warm welcome to Ritu.
Hello, people from other countries and American citizens. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yay.
Great. Yay. I'm going to be a citizen soon. I'm on all the dating apps. All right. Well, I do comedy as a side hustle. Being a comedian has made me realize I want to give up on being a vegetarian. 2 attention-seeking skills should not be in one person. This COVID isolated life has made me scared of death. I don't want to die. I'm worried if I die, who will take care of my Instagram account? All right, silly joke. People, I am single again. Welcome to America. I am back in the dating world. I went on a date last week and this guy was like, hey, I really like you. Do you want to come over, watch Netflix and chill? I was like, I don't do Netflix and chill dates. I know what American men want. But if you have Amazon Prime, I'm up for casual sex. I'm new to American dating. I think a lot about my sexual fantasies. I have this wildest sexual fantasy to make love to an American man with no student loan debt. Right, well, these are dating jokes, but in reality, I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm dating a guy in Columbia, Tennessee. I never thought I'll have to cross 3 Cracker Barrels to find love. This Cracker Barrel, this Columbia guy was like, hey, I'm confident. I have a job. I have a house. This is what I bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? I was like, I'm different. I bring Indian samosas to the table. All right. A new joke did not go well. Right, well, talking about dating and sex, we don't have sex education back in India, but I still somehow know how to fake it. All right, who votes these jokes for good? Who votes these jokes for not good? Well, your votes naturally don't count. You're in America. So, all right, I have too many American jokes. I am not ready to be deported yet, so I'm sorry. All right, if you ever question your existence, think about what avocados go through. They are a vegetable in America, a fruit in Brazil, and an American expensive bullshit in India. Okay, people, enough of these jokes. I am doing this. I am upgrading my...
Did you undo the internet on your...
Hey, mute your microphone, Tom.
Okay.
Tom, thank you so much. Welcome to Zoom Comedy, people. And this is what I'm doing on the phone. All right, I'll get an extra minute, right? I'm just kidding. Okay, people, enough of these jokes. I am doing this. I am upgrading my God level. Switching from Indian God to Jesus. Indian gods are overweight. You guys have a good-looking, hot Jesus God. And also because Kanye writes more songs about Jesus. Right? That was a punchline on that joke that never works. Okay, well, I'm an immigrant, right? I have a hard time making American friends. I think we are different. Like I don't have any food allergies. Like I prefer water without ice. The word ice scares the shit out of me. All right, Americans got that joke. Okay, cool. All right, I don't like the way people greet Indians in America. Like if I see an American, I'll be like, hey, how you doing? But if an American sees me, he's like, oh my God, I love Indian food. Don't do that to us. From next time, if I see an American, I'll be like, oh my God, US healthcare sucks. Okay.
I can say that.
I can say that. All right. Well, a comic said, hey, keep a balance between Indian and American jokes so they don't feel like they're the target. But hey, we both know who the target is, Mexicans, right? Oh, I can get away with that brown joke, people. I am brown. All right. Well, I think you guys are loving making fun of Americans, so let's keep doing that. I think Americans are cool people, but you guys have some weird hobbies, like your obsession with recycling. America, recycling makes you look poor. Please stop doing that. And blessing people when they sneeze. Why this discrimination? Why not bless people when they fart? Why not? And then paying for running and calling it marathon. You guys know you can run for free, right? Just making sure. All right. I have a question for you guys. Is anyone looking to buy brown parents? I'm selling mine. My parents have a basic common love story. My mom loves my dad and my dad loves alcohol. I called my mom last night and I was like, Mom, I have this show tomorrow. I don't think I'm funny. She said, I don't care if you're funny. When are you getting married? I will end on this one. My dad is a big believer in karma. He said I got divorced because I made fun of someone's divorce. Well, I learned my lesson. I make fun of rich people now. All right, I have another second or two. All right, I'll do this last joke. A lot of people talk about problems Indian women face, like gender inequality, rape, and all that. Nobody talks about real problems that we face. Body hair. This guy I went on a date with, he said, you have beautiful hair. I said, wait till we explore each other's body. It's the same hair growth on the rest of the body. All right, I'll end on this self-deprecating joke, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ritu. Give it up for her. Awesome job. You had some great stuff. I really enjoyed that. You got me thinking about all the dating stuff, and we dropped our two youngest ones off at college a couple months ago, and I started texting everybody and telling them, the kids are off and we're going to be an empty nest. And then all my friends started texting me back, and they're like, did you have the safe sex talk, the big talk? Did you send them off with like a year's supply of condoms? I said, my sons are on the debate team. They took 42 board games each with them to college, including 5 expansion packs of Settlers of Catan. I have nothing to worry about. There's no girl going near their magic cards. So we're going to keep this show moving. Coming up next is Abby November. She currently lives in San Diego, but has lived all over the Southwest, and she has been called the world's most inappropriate grandma. Give it up for Abby November.
Hey, Abby!
Hey, and it's good to be here. It's good to be anywhere during COVID, and that is not a dead body. Actually, it was my first husband. I keep him around for spare parts, but don't look there. Luke asked me if I had a tight set. Do you have a tight set? And I said, I haven't been tight since 1969. And that was Woodstock. The only thing I remember about Woodstock, Ritu,
Yes,
the only
yes.
thing I remember was the back seat of a 57 Chevy. I was on top. That's what I remember. Yes, I'm also a doctor, believe that or not. Yeah, that's how I met my husband. I was a neurosurgeon. I was doing his lobotomy. Anyway, there I am again. I was once a gorgeous Indian woman, and then through the miracle of all this telecommunications, I became an old fart again. the Yiddish word for old fart is AK, not the AK-47. It's the Alta Kaka. And that's why I'm running for president, Catherine, because I want bubbies, nanas, nonas, grandmothers, all to unite because we are the forgotten majority. We shouldn't be forgotten, right?
Right.
In 20. Stop making me laugh. Yeah. The bubby. And you see, I'm saying my bubby for president. Here, Edna. Bubby for president.
Yay, Bubby.
Hey, Bubby. Give me your tired, your poor, and your unlubricated women yearning to be free. Obamacare was great, but he didn't cover a few groups, the hungry, the homeless, and the unlubricated women. Lubrication is very expensive. Your KY, your Replens, but with Bubby Care, I will give that to you for free. Also, I didn't forget the gays. Well, you see, she doesn't like it either, but I want you to have natural lubrication, Ritu. That you're young and lubricated. What do you know? When you get old, you get dried out like a prune. I believe in natural organic products. So if you come from the South, use lard. It's edible, maybe high in saturated fat. If you're from the Midwest, corn oil. Now, if you're kosher, use chicken fat. So in my presidential campaign, I'm running on the Bubby Care ticket, and I want the oldsters, the AKs, to get together and vote for me. You don't have to worry about a lunatic in the office with orange hair pushing the button or the military, the nuclear codes, because AKs can't remember anything. I don't remember my passwords, right, girl, ladies, women, gender neutral, non-binaries. I don't remember anything. So there's no terror in your eyes when you see me in the White House, because I don't remember where the passwords are. Excuse me, my Depends fell off. You know, they have Depends that are in the shape of thongs, so we can be young and cute like Ritu and Dawn. I can wear a thong shaped Depends anytime, but you have to change it. That's neither here nor there. I did write that book. It's coming out in, God willing, we see 2021. Everyone pray for 2021. The book is coming out, Dr. Abby, also known as Dr. Bubby. It's called Sexuality from Puberty Till You Plots. That's being shy. And I wrote the section on lubrication, and you've had a little taste of that. No pun intended. So give me your nonas, your nanas, your abuelas, or whatever, the Mimi G's, because I'm Dr. Abby and I'm going to set you free. You'll be nice and greasy and happy. In another life, ladies, I worked in a nursing home, believe it or not. And do you know, Dawn, what the #1 health problem is?
What's that?
Constipation. No shit. Well, Dr. Abby recommends lots of liquids. I had Metamucil margaritas, prune daiquiris, and if that don't work, take Granny or Grandpa bungee jumping. Guaranteed to knock out a few rocks or something anyway. Well, I've been married for over 50 years. Can you believe it? To the same person.
Wow.
Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if there are some gentlemen there, I think Luke's around someplace combing his hair. The first 50 are the hardest. Trust me. The rest of the time after that, it's a cakewalk. I'm wearing hearing aids. I turn them off. and he can't hear anyway. It's a lot of fun, but I try to spice up our life. You know what I mean in the romantic sense, Dawn. You may go out to happy hour and look at hot guys, but I don't stray too much. And so I read Cosmo magazine, and Cosmo magazine said to increase their interest in you know what, greet your partner at the door wearing nothing but saran wrap. I tried it. He said, leftovers again? Think I have time for a quickie? I wish I did. I can't even find a fast. Never mind. That's neither here nor there. I'm doing comedy. If I had a young stud at home, you'd think I'd be here talking to you sluts. I mean, you ladies. No. My granddaughter, oh, she's brilliant. She's gorgeous. She's intelligent. She looks like me. She said, well, she was 3. She said, Bobby, don't wear panties to bed. I said, why? She said, because your vagina can't breathe. So I said, well, I have a tank of oxygen right by the bed. And that is my time. And I want to don't be a putz. Just wash, make sure you wash your nuts if you have them. If you don't, wash your hands, wash your tush, wash your face, get the order straight. And that's my time. And be kind to each other. I love you all.
Thank you, Abby. Good job, Abby November. I will agree, you are probably the world's most inappropriate grandma. We're going to keep the show moving right along. The next comic coming up is coming to us from the great state of Connecticut. She recently won the Hot Breath Pod's August 2020 Right 10 Comedy Contest. Please welcome to your screen, Amanda O.
Ooh. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you. Good God, I hope I'm as cool as Dr. Abby when I'm her age. It's awesome. Thanks for having me, Luke. So something interesting about me, I learned to do the rain dance from an early age, as is the tradition of the Cherokee tribe. Yeah. I'm not Native American. I'm just an introvert looking for any excuse not to go out, you know. It's come in handy quite a few times. I look too ethnically ambiguous. I know, I'm aware. I've been asked if I'm white, black, Asian. Sometimes creepy guys will be like, oh, you look exotic. What are you? And I'm like, oh, thanks. I am not interested. That's what I am. Okay. I'm actually Puerto Rican, and this guy that I've known for 4 years heard me speaking Spanish one time, and he was like, whoa, I didn't know you were Spanish. I thought you were black. I was like, okay. That's so funny because that statement confirms you're white. So we know for sure. But it used to annoy me until I started applying to colleges. Whenever the application asked, what ethnicity are you? I checked other, and I wrote down, I am whatever will get me into this college, you know. Like, I will be whichever minority you don't have on the brochure. But as was said, I am from Connecticut. And Connecticut is surrounded by the very popular New York City and Boston, okay? So basically nobody cares about us, you know. We are like the Kevin Jonas of the East Coast. You know? I don't know if you guys know who he is or not, but if you don't, that just proves my point, really. If you ask someone who lives in Connecticut why they like living in Connecticut, a lot of them will say, oh, it's great because it's only an hour away from New York City. Just live in New York. That's like if I'm dating my boyfriend only because I like his friend, you know? It doesn't make sense. Just go there. I like Connecticut, but I will admit it's not as exciting as New York. Like, everybody loves New York. There's even that shirt that says, I love New York. If Connecticut had a shirt, it would say, I love New York, you know? We just love it. But, you know, people say you can't keep a good woman down, but my depression has fully accepted that challenge, you know. Took it right on. It was a hard pill to swallow when I realized my awkward teenage phase is actually just my personality, you know. Wasn't sure at first, but it's here to stay. It's fine. I've grown to love it. But I'm an introvert, like I said, and my therapist is always saying stuff like, you need to socialize more. And I'm like, I'm not opening up myself to anyone, you know, except the COVID testing nurse. That's probably it. You know. But the pandemic has been especially hard for me because I'm a bit of a germaphobe, which used to be weird, but now I'm a trendsetter, so it's nice, you know. Not to brag, but before everyone was washing their hands to Happy Birthday twice, I was washing my hands to Bohemian Rhapsody 5 times. Not the song, the movie, so I'm really clean. But during college, my friend and I, we gained some weight. In our senior year, she decided to get in shape, while I decided to continue looking like a shape. So, just a big rhombus. But one night we were watching a movie, and she just gets up and starts doing crunches. I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I didn't get to go to the gym today, so I'm just working out now. And I was like, wow, so inspired, you know. It inspired me to get a new friend, you know. Sit, eat, you know. But when I first got to college, I saw the campus had a lot of hills, and I was like, oh, this will be good for me. You know, it'll help me to lose some weight. Cut to a few weeks later, I was still overweight. I just had really strong calves, you know. Only difference. A lot of hills, rocks, trees. It was like I was paying $60,000 a year to hike, you know. Crazy. It got so bad that before I left for class, I always made sure to have a Gatorade, some trail mix, and a tent, just in case I didn't make it before sundown, you know, just to be safe. I remember telling all this to my parents, and they were like, just remember to enjoy college because it's all downhill from there. And I was like, thank God. My legs are killing me, you know. But to be honest with you all, I don't really like to think about college. Like, I hate cardio so much, it's even hard to walk down memory lane, you know. That one's kind of a thinker. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of jogging my memory, if you will. You know? I went too far with that one. But I'm trying to eat healthier. But it's hard. Like, I grew up in a Hispanic household where the belief is if you're 30 pounds overweight, you're too skinny, you know. Like, grab another plate, you know. Heard that a lot. My friend was telling me, like, you should eat more superfoods. And I honestly don't know what that is, you know. No idea. It's like, I don't know. Should I put little capes on my Twinkies? I don't get it, you know. That one's not great. Well, we're going to move on, though. More of a visual. But you guys know healthy food it's expensive, and I can't afford it. I've thought about going to a good restaurant and just like dining and dashing, you know. But with the way I eat, it's clear I cannot run, so I wouldn't get it. But, yeah, it's funny. I always thought the song "I'm a Little Teapot, Short and Stout" was a fun song to sing, not a prediction of my adult body dimensions, you know. But here we are. I love it though. It's great. But I was shopping the other day for some clothing, and I noticed the tag on the pants said "generous fit," and I was like, "Wow, these pants are so giving," you know. Great, and they have like they fit nice. They have these extra deep pockets to fit all my snacks. I love it. And like I honestly always carry a granola bar with me in case of emergencies. And when people hear me say that, they're like, "Oh, are you diabetic?" I'm like, "No, I just like become kind of a bitch when I'm hungry, really." So I'd always have it. But currently, I've been trying to exercise more because I'm the type of person who steps up to the plate and doesn't give up. Okay. Especially when that plate is loaded with cake, you know. Like right there. I try to go for walks every now and then. Like the other day I was walking down the street and some creepy guy was like, "Hey, nice butt." I was like, hey, what do you like about it? Be more specific, you know? Just want to know. But anyway, I just started a new job at a school. My coworkers are having a hard. Oh, thank you. Yep, some form of income. It's not a lot, but coworkers are having a hard time remembering my name, and I hate correcting people. So now I'm Ashley. You know. I enjoy working with the kids. I do. They can be kind of frustrating. I once subbed a first grade class, and a kid went up to this teacher, and he was like, "Mister, do you have abs?" I was like, "Jackson, honey, that's rude. It's Mr. Taylor. Do you have abs? Now go ask his phone number for me." It was kind of hot. I was like, "Okay, class, it's show and tell time. Mr. Taylor, you can go first." Show it off, you know. But anyway, I currently live with my parents, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we could tell." But people ask me if that that one is a real one. People ask me if that impacts my dating life, and it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, the thing that impacts my dating life is the fact that I'm not getting asked out. You know, that's the main thing. But I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not dating right now. I don't have the time for it. It's exhausting. You always have to like look nice. You have to have a fun personality. Like, I wish I could go on a date with a guy who's only interested in my boobs. You know, that's it. It would take off so much pressure, I think. You know, it's like I wouldn't have to do anything except wear a V-neck. You know, that'd be it. And if he tries to look up and have a conversation, I'll be like, "Hey, eyes down here." You know, I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, I sometimes will babysit my 4-year-old cousin, and I asked her that same tired question, like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And it's dumb because they always say the most unrealistic things, like, "I want to be a pirate," or "I want to be a princess," or "I want to be happy," you know. Like, yeah, me too. But she told me she wants to be a doctor and an actress. I was like, perfect combo. People do that all the time, you know. So I was like, great, let's practice. Why don't you leave the room, come back in and say, "Hi, I'm Sasha. I'll be your doctor today." So she did that. She was all excited. She was like, "Now let's practice me being an actress." I was like, great, leave the room, come back in and say, "Hi, I'm Sasha, and I'll be your waitress this evening." Just giving it to her straight. But you guys have been really fun. That's about my time. Thank you so much. I'm Amanda. Thank you.
Good job, Amanda. Amanda, I have to say, if Connecticut is the Kevin Jonas of states, then I think Maine is probably like that Kardashian, that the fat one that nobody knows. Just my thought. This next comedian coming to your screen, I actually met her a few years back at the Portland, Maine Comedy Festival. She showed up with like her whole entourage. And I'm like, "Aren't you from Toronto?" She goes, "Yeah, but I grew up in Maine, and these are all my sisters." And like, they were like dozens, and they filled the room. So I will say, Cathy Boyd, invite her to a comedy show because she brings her own audiences. She has a slew of credits. She has been part of the Women in Comedy Festival in Boston, the She Devil Comedy Festival in New York, the Boston Comedy Festival, and the International Ladies Laugh Comedy Festival. Welcome to the stage, Cathy Boyd.
Hey, everybody. You're all great. Good. Hate you. So I'm not your stereotypical comic. I have a car. Thank you. I probably look familiar to most of you. I assume you've all experienced the popular face aging app. Yeah. I can remember when this face used to be able to stop traffic. I was a school crossing guard at the time. But now the only way I stop traffic is if I push that pedestrian button. But even then, you know, the other day a guy almost ran into me. He said, "Sorry, I didn't see you." I said, you didn't see me. According to my BMI chart, you should have seen two of me. And then we high-fived. I don't tend to joke about the same things my younger cohorts do. I find, especially the female comics, they all tend to have a piece about their periods, whereas I am a period piece.
Oh.
Thank you. And the first thing people ask or say to me when they hear I do stand up is, shouldn't you be sitting down? Immediately followed by, well, how did you get into stand up? And I tell them, pretty much the same way I conceived my first child, completely by accident. And, but I've always liked to write. And my first year post-secondary education, Dawn, I attended the University of Maine in Orono. And there was a grad student there by the name of Stephen King.
Oh,
He writes books.
yeah.
I've never been able to prove it, but I'm almost certain I was the inspiration behind several of his novels. Cujo for sure. Yeah. So I got to tell you, I'm not a huge fan of Zoom shows. I just find, connections get lost, right? And screens freeze, and the audience is muted. And I got to tell you, I didn't go into comedy to get the silent treatment. I have kids for that. But the worst thing I find is when the host, if any of these things happens, repeatedly says, well, looks like we lost Cathy. I think I'm going to put that on my epitaph. But anyway. And with COVID, I guess it's something that we just have to put up with. It's been a struggle, right? I know everywhere, especially here in Toronto, the long-term care facilities have been hit very hard, to the point where my husband told me to shoot him before ever putting him in one of those places. And of course I said, well, why wait? No time like the present. But I try to look at there's been some good things about COVID. My daughter, she has children of her own, which makes me amazing. And she always dreamed of being a stay-at-home mom. And now, thanks to COVID, she's living the dream. I told her to dream bigger. And I put out an album during COVID. Yeah. It's gotten rave reviews. Well, it got a review. And my friend in New Brunswick, she read it and she said, wow, you're becoming famous. And I said, you know what, so much so, I don't leave the house these days without wearing a mask. Yeah. Andy Warhol said we'd all experience our own 15 minutes of fame, right? I just assumed mine would come in the guise of some drunken domestic dispute on my front lawn, but I live in Toronto and I don't have a front lawn, so that's never going to happen. Like I said, I am the mother of 4. Yeah, 3 would have been good. I'd have been good with 3. I have 3 girls and a boy. I love my son. Yeah, 2 of my kids have kids of their own, and anyway, they all play hockey because, of course, you know, we live in Canada. And I gotta tell you, Dawn, though, I never, I was a hockey mom, but I never once got into a fight in the stands. I took that shit right out to the parking lot where it belonged. Yeah. Well, I was going to tell you that I had 2 children with my first husband and 2 with my current husband, and I tell you this, I lost track of where I was going, just because, you know, Alzheimer's is going to be a really smooth transition for me. But anyway, I had 2 with my first husband and 2 with my current husband. And I'm telling you this because I've been with my current husband now for 31 years. We've been married for 31 years. And people will always ask me, what's the secret to a long marriage? And I got to tell you, I have no idea. But personally, for me, it was the threat of gaining sole custody of the kids again. Yeah. Anyway, I just celebrated 31 years of marriage, like I said, and I went out to dinner. And I'm still not sure what my husband did that night. He's a little pissed at me because I told him I was going to perform for 8 guys.
Oh.
It could happen. He called me a slut. I said, well, I'm getting paid. So he said, break a leg. But true story, where he works here near Toronto in Scarborough, there was a shooting and 3 stray bullets penetrated his office windows. Yeah. He's fine. Thanks for asking. But he has me to thank for that, because I told him that morning, if he wasn't home in time for supper that night, I was going to fucking shoot him. So that's a classic damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? I came home with some bread just the other day with flaxseed in it. It was really good, but I noticed I was the only one eating it. And he said, oh, I don't eat flaxseed because it lowers your testosterone. And here all this time, I thought it was me. Right? So, you know what, Abby gets that. What else can I tell you about him? You know, he's not crazy about getting older, that's for sure. He's just a little more than concerned, you know, with performance, you know, of his pension. So he changed investors. He continued to list me as his sole beneficiary. However, he listed my occupation was homemaker. I said, what the fuck? Am I building houses for Habitat for Humanity? You couldn't come up with one other thing to write down there? Because right off the top of my head, widow came to mind. Do you guys, anybody play tennis? Any tennis players out there?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't know what to look at me, but I am a mediocre tennis player. Thank you. And we were recently watching, well, it was a while ago, but when they had fans in the stands in the Australian Open, and the cameramen always managed to find the best looking women, right, in the stadium. So my husband says to me, who's that? I said, that's Christy Brinkley. Did you know she and I were the same age? And he laughed and he laughed and he laughed. And then he slept on the sofa. Yeah. He was denied this. I tell you, I got so mad, in fact, that for the first time in my life, I checked out some dating websites. Are any of you familiar with eHarmony
Mhm.
or OkCupid?
Mhm.
1-800-GOT-JUNK? You okay, Abby? You know, go ahead and laugh, but apparently those guys drive some big trucks. I think it's a euphemism for something. You know, they even asked me what size truck I wanted. Yeah, I thought that was getting a little personal. But back to my husband, you know what? He's okay. I just want to let you know that he's fine. He's good. You know, anytime he leaves the house, he'll say, "Can I pick something up for you?" That's nice, right? So the other day I said, "Yeah, could you get me some rapid wrinkle remover?" And then he started. You're as pretty as the day I met you. I wouldn't change a thing. Just think of them as laugh lines. They add character. I love you just the way you are. I said, that's awesome. But it's for the fucking laundry. Abby, I got to stop giving my punchline while you're drinking water. And since we got the ladies here, and it's Women of Comedy, I have a physical coming up, and it's going to be online, which is I find really odd. Because I think I'm due for my annual pap smear. Show of hands, ladies. How many of you look forward to your annual pap smears?
No.
I tell you, it's as close to a date as I'm going to get all year. There you are, laying there, completely naked. Your legs are in the air. Your feet are in stirrups. You're spread eagle. And the doctor comes in and says, relax, which is uncanny because that's pretty much how I choose to relax. You know, any other time a guy tells me to raise my legs and put my feet in stirrups, there better be a fucking rodeo in town, I can tell you that. But I remember the last time I was getting the pap, you know, the doc, he was in under that sheet like he was clearing up a sinus infection, right? And he says to me, how long have you had this? Really? How long have I had this? I said, well, it's vintage. And don't they have growth rings around them like trees and seashells? Like they can't tell how old it is? Then he said, well, that looks suspicious. Wow. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, maybe in between husbands, you know, in between my 20s and 30s, you know, like I said, I've only had 2 husbands. Well, I've had maybe lots of husbands, but I've only been married to two of them. So then he said, we're going to have to remove that. And I thought, wow, remove it, you know. So I thought, well, you know what? That's my fault. It's true. Use it or lose it. But he was actually looking at a mole on the inside of my leg, and it's gone, you know. It's all good. All put together. But anyway, I just wanted to say a few things about you guys that Netflix and chill. Yeah, I Netflix and chill, Ritu. Yeah, I put an ice pack on my shoulder when I watch House of Cards. Yeah. And I wanted to say to, I did Don about the hockey, but Abby, you said, was it Abby? Who said walk down memory? Oh, Amanda walked down memory lane. Yeah, that was really funny. I love that because, like I said, Alzheimer's is going to be really smooth transition for me because I never know what I'm going to say next. But ageism is the last socially acceptable prejudice in the world. When I say that to people, they say, "In the world?" I say, "Yeah, in the world." Who said that? Who did say that? Sorry, the World Health Organization said that, and I believe them because I tell you, whenever I go to the grocery store, I don't know who I am anymore. I get called honey and doll and sunshine. I just answer to it all. And whenever I go to the deli and ask the deli clerk for cheddar, she says, "Old." Somebody's singing. Am I the only one that can hear that? Anyway, she says old, right? So anyway, I beat the shit out of her because she has to learn. I mean, that's the only way they're going to learn, right? Yeah. So she doesn't do that to me anymore. So I don't know. I didn't get a bell, but it's after 9, so I'm gonna. Oh, that's the bell. I don't know what else I can tell you about me except I'm not crazy about getting older. No, I tell you, you get no respect. My kids are texting me in all caps now. Yeah. I think they think I'm deaf. Yeah. So you know what? I've decided I'm not going to. I'm not going to pretend. I'm grown up. I'm not going to pretend to like people I really don't care for. You know, like my kids. Yeah. Who is that kid in the background? There's some kid in the background. Am I the only one that can hear that?
No.
Oh, okay. So somebody's got their mic on. Anyway, I'm going to go with that. Anyway, thanks so much. You guys have been awesome.
Thank you,
to my album.
Cathy.
Thanks.
I wanted to mention all the proceeds from tonight's show are going to the Red Door Homeless Shelter in Toronto. So give it up for that good cause. A bunch of proceeds from the tickets were bought tonight. So thank you so much for attending so we can help out that organization. The next Women of Comedy online is November 21st at 8 p.m. And you'll be able to see everything about that coming up on Facebook. Just follow Women of Comedy on Facebook. And thanks so much to Comedy Nuggets for having us all. And thank you to all of our comedians tonight. Ritu, Tirthani, Abby November, Amanda Ho, our headliner Cathy Boyd, and my name's Dawn Hartill. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Night. I just want to read these things.
Oh, now we got player.
There it is again.
I like that player. How did you play? There's a player.
Okay.